On today's episode of The Unwritten Rule, we have a really pretty packed show. We've got some football, another commitment for Mizzou football, in fact. So we'll break that down, talk about him, another guy in the secondary. Mizzou continuing to cook in the summer in recruiting. We've got a couple of basketball names to mention, just a few recruits to know, guys who have Mizzou in top lists, visiting, all that stuff, just to keep it on the radar. Obviously, Dennis Gates' class was so good in 2024, and these are some pretty big names in 2025 to keep an eye on as well. We're going to talk some NCAA 25. Got some more details about that game related to Mizzou. They got their offense ranking, and then there was some like fan stuff that got put in the game that was just very exciting that we want to talk about as well. Got a little Olympics talk with Mizzou, with a certain Olympian in track going, and then a quick note on some SEC takeover for the Tigers on TV. More Mizzou and quick hits. Going to talk some baseball. Going to talk a little. We've got some St. Louis connections and quick hits with the Stanley Cup Finals. Got the Stanley Cup Finals to talk about. More Drinkwitz, more Dennis. We got soccer, all that stuff. But it all has Mizzou connections. We did a good job on quick hits this week with our tie-ins. I think it's worthwhile to listen to. But a great show for you guys to dive into and to get your weekend started. Like I said, starting with another commit for Mizzou football. We'll get you straight to it. The Unwritten Rule starts right now.
Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Payton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule. Today is Friday, June 28th, and yet another day, yet another Mizzou football commitment. The Tigers have another one in their pristine or growing into a pristine 2025 class that is up to 12 commitments here. They got a cornerback named Mark Manfred, no relation to Rob. We should put that out there off the bat. That might have been a better joke for Payton or Kenny to make, but I'm going to make it. Mark Manfred, 6'3" corner. He hails from Marietta, Georgia, plays for Sprayberry High School, which is just an interesting name when I was writing that down. In the class of 2024, he was on an official visit last weekend. Of course, that was the big Tigers, their big official visit weekend to wrap up June. He had offers from Auburn, Clemson, Florida, LSU, Michigan, North Carolina, and USC, to name a few. So a good pickup there. Weighs in at, or at least on the Rivals measurement lists him at 6'3", 180 pounds. Last season, 57 tackles, including 5 for loss, 4 pass deflections, and a pick as a junior. And he's the number 93 player in the state of Georgia. That's the only ranking at least Rivals has for him. But again, a 3-star corner, another solid commit with some good offers, it sounds like here, Payton and Kenny. And in a secondary unit that, I think is kind of rebuilding itself in the post Rakestraw CAD era, if that's what we want to dub it as. But what do we think of Mr. Mark Manfred, Double M, coming into the fold here for Mizzou? Double M to Mizzou, Triple M,
Double M to the block M,
to the block
the rock M, whatever you want to call it. I believe he is the first straight cornerback commitment for Mizzou, correct? I know they have a safety commit, but I don't remember if they have a cornerback commit. Yeah, so he is the first just true cornerback commit. So obviously they're not done at that position. There's still others that even just visited this past week that they could be looking at. But yeah, I mean, certainly, hopefully the first of many commitments over the next month or so. If you're looking for maybe what he brings to the table, a quote here, they said they like just my competitiveness, my ball skills, how I like to tackle, just really everything about me. So that's kind of what you can look forward from Mark Manfred.
Yeah, that was a quote I got from him a couple months ago when I was covering LSU recruiting for Rivals. And it was right about the time that some of the staff changes happened. We know that 3 former Mizzou staffers ended up at LSU, and Jake Olson was one of them who became a safeties coach there, a secondaries coach. And that was something he just said about Manfred, and they liked him there. But the opportunity, I mean, didn't really seem like there was many opportunities there because LSU is sometimes seen as DBU, so they get the premier of the premier. Mark Manfred ends up at Mizzou, but I mean, it's probably some similar like philosophies, similar things that they like on the defense. So that's why I wanted to throw that quote out there.
Yeah, remind me again on the staff. Is Batoon going to be in charge of the secondary? I forgot when we were hashing all that out with the.
Would assume
with
he'd has some input on the safeties. I don't remember.
Yeah, because I don't think they've straight up hired a
No,
safeties
because
coach.
Blake Baker was also just the safeties coach.
Yeah, so I think Batoon, they're letting him take a large part of that.
He's a safeties coach according to the Mizzou football website.
All right, so there you go. And he was his leading recruiter. So, Batoon doing a little positional work there, being in charge of the safeties coach. I think this is a nice, exciting addition. Like Payton and Kinney both said, I mean, he was productive as a junior. I'll read his stats again. It was 57 tackles. He had a pick, 4 pass deflections. Had some high caliber offers. And I think, you wrapping up a commitment quickly after an official visit, I think is just a good sign, if nothing else, that, you're doing the right work on visits. Obviously, kids, it's pretty hard for a kid to come away from an official visit and say, I hated that. I don't really know how that's like really even possible. But, to wrap up commitment so quickly to say, they convinced me based on our one-on-one conversations, whether it was with Batoon, Drinkwitz, whoever he wanted to play for. I think it's it's a good thing that made him want him to commit right away and become part of the Tigers 2025 class here. Any other thoughts on Mr. Manfred? I'm sorry I stole the Rob Manfred joke. Should have let someone else make that.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, hopefully the first of many commitments over the next month or so could shape up to be the best class we've seen, like we've said 100 times. So
it is commitment season. We are in that time now. Like I mentioned, it's the dead period, so there's no visits that happen. But this is when kids obviously who took all those official visits in June kind of process things, start to announce, and that'll go all the way up until the new National Signing Day now, which is at the beginning of December. So we have to get used to that. It's going to be a crazy time, like the post-Thanksgiving, you come right off of that Arkansas game into signing day where, hopefully Mizzou by that point, they don't have – you kind of want a drama-free signing day, I think. You want all your commitments wrapped up by that point. But, yeah, I mean, Mizzou's definitely on the right track for a great haul come that time. Mark Manfred, the latest addition, cornerback out of Georgia. While we're on recruit speak, in the same vein. Oh wait, Kenny, was there any rankings changed? It looks like 29. What were they at? Weren't they at 28 last time? Did they drop a spot?
Yeah, I think. Well, this commit also happened this past weekend, so we just missed it. We had recorded right before Mark Manfred announced it. I think they were just around that mark, around the 29, late 20s, up to 12 total commitments right now. And that's just because other schools were adding players as well. And I actually just wanted to point this out to you guys. I don't know if you've seen it, but Rutgers is 8th right now in the top. I think they go all the way to like over 100 on Rivals. And Rutgers is at 8th right now with 25 3-star commits. It is just solely based on that they have so many commits in their class of 2025 right now.
Yeah.
That is an absurd number at this stage.
Weirdly, I could see that being like a future Drinkwitz strategy one year where Mizzou just gets like 20 commits by July 1st and they're just in like second place, but they're all like,
I don't know. He seems quality over quantity more than anything
I hope
else,
so.
Really.
I would rather have that. I don't know.
LSU's dropping.
Well, it's because Jake Olson didn't do enough work for Mark Manfred. Let him go. His former school.
Good one, Blake Baker.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Rutgers. I hope Mizzou finishes above Rutgers. Yeah,
probably not with 28 commits.
They do already have 28. But you think how many more are they going to add? How many scholarships is Rutgers?
They almost can't add many more than that.
Yeah, you don't really have. You don't see like above what, like 35? Like 35.
A&M has almost half their commitments and they're one spot behind them.
Yeah, you're right. What do they have? 15?
Yeah.
28?
By
Jeez,
3
it's-
points. That's the difference.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. Quality over quantity. There you go. While we're on recruit talk, we have football and we have basketball. Oh my gosh, Corey Sims. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he's committing on Sunday. So we've already planned the show around it. We're going to record part of the show after he commits. So we will have a breakdown for you guys on Monday. But a reminder, it is UCF. No, not UCF.
No, that's Javen Boggs.
I'm just Javen Boggs. I get him and Corey Sims.
It's pretty much a Mizzou USC battle at this
Yeah.
point. Everyone seems to think so. Guess we'll see. I believe Gabe DeArmond put in a future cast to Mizzou for Sims. So, and also Javen Boggs commits on July 4th, and I believe Oleg Bodes is creeping up. So, could be a very, very huge stretch here for the Nasty Whiteouts group.
I like this graphic too. I like the St. Louis in the background. It's got the Champions
Mhm.
Drive sign and the Mizzou Corey Sims does, I guess.
So is Penn State being in there? Is it like that the meme of the Army guys and then the clown? Is Penn
or the,
State the clown?
Or the dragon, the 3-headed dragon, and the one has like the goofy
looking
face.
one.
Yeah.
Kind of
Sorry.
seems like that.
Sorry, Penn State. He did put him in the middle. Sometimes I like to overread into those. Which one's at like the front, or like when people put like then offers list and the Mizzou logo is like bigger than the Tulane logo. We're not going to Tulane. Yeah.
Everybody's invited, by the way. So if you want to go to CBC High School, you can go watch this live.
Pack the house, wear your Mizzou gear. Maybe that'll influence him at the last minute. So yeah, we'll have a breakdown of that because we're gonna wait and do part of the show, or that part of the show after he announces, so that we have that for you on Monday. Talk about hopefully Corey Sims picking Mizzou, making that a reality. But yeah, so that's one to watch, and like Payton said, the other guys coming up as well. Basketball. We're gonna talk basketball commits. There's a couple of guys just, to kind of keep people on the radar for a couple of names to know in basketball. First one, as you see on the YouTube, if you're watching, from a good tweet from our good friend of the show, Drew King, who actually, guys, I just talked to the other day. He does want to come back on. So we have to do our off-season show with him, where then we have him on a year after that and he revisits and does how right he was about his predictions. Trent Pierce. Maybe he'll have another Trent Pierce.
Or Connor Vanover.
Those were tough. It's all right for Drew, though. Anyway, he was doing a little bit of reporting. Nicholas Randal is the first name on the basketball recruiting front. He's a 4-star power forward, 6'7" he stands at, and plays for is it Vasson High School?
It would be Vashon.
Vashon. Oh, I'm missing an H. I typed it out. I mistyped it. Yeah, Vashon in St. Louis. So an in-state kid there. Name to watch. Like I said, Nicholas Randal. He was on campus for an official visit on Tuesday, a couple of days ago. So Drew has all the info on that. And then the other one, another 4-star, Dorian Jones. He is a shooting guard from Richmond Heights in Cleveland. So a little, tie to Gates there. He is down to 4 schools. He has Michigan, Missouri, Ohio State, and Rutgers in his top 4. And I don't believe I saw a commitment date. If I did, it might be behind the On3 paywall, but is down to 4.
That's July 1st.
I can't read. July 1st. So that's coming up as well for Dorian Jones. So a couple of good names. I mean, this is a good sign, I think, for Mizzou. Dennis still kind of staying in the, he had the great 2024 class. These are 2, pretty high profile guys in 2025. I mean, you look even at Jones, the 3 schools you're competing with there. Rutgers. It's funny you brought up football for Rutgers recruiting, Kenny, because they've been also really hot in basketball. They have 2 5-stars in 2024. So Rutgers, this is not a Rutgers podcast, but hopefully they don't steal away Dorian Jones. But thoughts on him, and then Nicholas Randal as well, 2 guys that Mizzou can maybe get in 2025.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole ton of buzz around Dorian Jones for Mizzou lately. I actually have no idea where he's going, but he is a name that I believe has been linked to Mizzou a lot. just in terms of like Mizzou keeping in contact with him, and obviously they're in his Final Four. Not a huge deal. I can't believe I'm saying it's not a huge deal if Mizzou basketball doesn't land a 4-star anymore, because I have full faith in Dennis being able to reel in a pretty good class. And as for Randal, I mean, again, just more of the same. It's a pretty early visit, but if you remember, I mean, last year, T.O. Barrett was on campus really early in the recruiting cycle, then was not on campus again, and he's still committed to Mizzou. So having an early visit for Randal isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's also interesting because Gates has not really recruited hard. Like, I don't want to say hasn't recruited hard, but like hasn't reeled in a whole ton of commitments from like the state of Missouri from his high school classes yet. But if he could get Randal, I mean, that would be Aaron Rowe, who's in your backyard, and Nicholas Randal both in the fold. So just interesting there. Maybe a little bit more emphasis being put on Missouri. Quite frankly, I don't care where they're from as long as they're good basketball players. But there is something to be said for when you have a guy that's on your turf, you kind of want to land them.
It's the same thing with like basketball recruiting. A lot of the top tier guys aren't always playing in the state or the city where they're actually from. You end up at different academies. You move to the better school. You find better opportunities elsewhere. I wanted to show you guys a quick photo, though, of Nicholas Randal that I saw in the last couple of days. This photo goes so hard. He's in the old retro Mizzou, Missouri with the big block white M jersey, all gold from this past season, and he's wearing a St. Louis Cardinals hat in the throne that we've seen a lot recently. So this is a really hard photo if you're looking on the YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
good.
I hate to kind of give praise to the aesthetic of a Cardinals hat, but it does match pretty well with this uniform set. Maybe you could say a little bit of like ketchup and mustard look, but it looks pretty good actually.
I enjoy the St. Louis Cardinals hat, I think, in style. I think it can sometimes go with a lot of stuff. So I do have to give credit's due there. So hopefully the oral of Nicholas Randal can come to Mizzou, and we'll see, I guess, what happens with Dorian Jones. Obviously that commitment's pretty soon if Mizzou maybe has to make up some ground there. I will, just to throw out some context, Nicholas Randal is 103rd on Rivals' rankings. He jumped up 27 spots from the last time they did a ranking. So I guess there's that. Dorian Jones actually dropped 14 spots to 67. All of that is very arbitrary, I realize, but there's
if you're looking for a hint on Dorian Jones, if you go to his 24/7 page, Michigan, Rutgers, and Missouri are warm. Ohio State is warmer.
So Buckeyes might have the edge.
A little bit of a hint there.
Yeah, could be an Ohio State lean, but we'll see what happens with that commitment. That's 3 Big
Ten.
He's
from Ohio as well, so
right. But Cleveland, I mean, Dennis has the Cleveland ties. Need to.
Not quite with this level of talent, I would say.
Yeah. More Cleveland State transfers. Horizon League. We will be the Horizon League upgrade team in the SEC. So there's a couple of names to kind of follow on basketball for recruiting there. Guys, let's talk some NCAA 25, shall we? The game comes out, what is it, July 16th?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
July 16th. So it's coming up pretty soon. I still have not gotten the new console for it. I still, frankly, haven't really done any research, which is probably not good. I should really get on that. But because I want to play this game. But they released some stuff, including they did like a deep dive on kind of how the aesthetics and like crowd and stuff is going to be. And they talked about a few Mizzou features. They showed Big Mo and then the cannon, which scared the crap out of me every single football game I went when they fired it off, even after 4 years when I knew it was coming. They showed both those in the trailer, which was just kind of hype. I took screenshots of it from the trailer, but I think Mizzou football also tweeted a video if you want that. But the game looks very exciting. And then, I mean, there was some other stuff. I think they talked about they're going to have the MIZZOU chant probably because they're doing like immersive kind of team specific crowd chants. They said they'll have tiger tails waving. So it's going to be really fun to kind of recreate, these big Mizzou games, especially this coming season that we think are going to happen in Furrow Field, in the game. We'll talk about, there was some rating stuff that came out too, but I want to talk about that separately because that's more of a embrace debate, but kind of a fun aesthetic that they're having all this stuff in the game. Just makes me excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed. The big Mo is not in the right spot at
That's
all.
true.
And it's a nobody that's banging it. They normally have someone important to hit the big Mo. So that's pretty lazy on the part of EA. The cannon looks like it's in the right spot, so that's pretty good. I'm
That's
also
Chase
totally
Daniel.
kidding. I'm totally kidding, by the way.
I was going to say that's
Chase Daniel on the big
Daniel.
Mo.
Oh, it could be Chase
Screenshot.
Daniel. He does kind of look Chase Daniel-y.
Someone
But,
replied to
yeah.
us, and they talked about the cargo shorts being chef's kiss, being a Mizzou guy wearing cargo shorts. So I thought that was fun.
Just like an older Mizzou fan. Yeah, they're both
That's
good.
pretty-
Hey,
that's pretty
Kenny,
fun.
any thoughts
No,
on
it's
the
cool.
aesthetic?
Yeah, I mean it's really cool going into this much detail for the game. I noticed too that they're gonna have SEC chants, and I think that would be cool. And I know you can switch conferences with some of these teams. People that still have NCAA 14 do it all the time. If I put BYU in the SEC, will I get SEC chants at BYU? That's what I want to
That's a
know.
good question. Yeah, will it register?
Exactly.
It is
I
a good
hope so.
question.
I hope so. Yeah, good aesthetic. I don't know. I'm so excited for the game. That just makes me more looking forward to seeing Mizzou in it and playing as Mizzou in it. And then the other thing, which we can, this is a little bit more kind of, you can debate this or whatever, but Mizzou, they started to release some team rankings and stuff for the teams in the game. Mizzou is in the top 10 for offense. I believe I thought I saw they had a 91 rated
They're an
offense.
89.
89. Okay. I missaw it, but 89, that put them, I saw it earlier. Where was it? That put
They're
them ninth.
tied for fifth because there's 100 other teams that are 89. But
Yeah. Thoughts? Too low? Too high?
no, I think it's good. I think that's I don't know how you could be anything but thrilled with top 10 because it means I think Luther Burden is at worst going to be a 97 or a 98. He should be a 99. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it means probably that Theo Weiss and Mookie Cooper, the rest of the receiver core was pretty respected. The O-line didn't get disrespected. Brady Cook probably has a good ranking there. We'll see. I'd have to assume what's pulling them down is just kind of the running back room because while Marcus Carroll was great at Georgia State, he hasn't done anything in a Power 4 conference yet. So they probably are in wait and see mode with him. So that's probably what I would assume keeps them from being a little higher. But yeah, I don't know how you could be anything but thrilled with what Mizzou's rated.
I had a source reach out to me and text me this morning that Connor Tollison is the only 99 center in the game. Payton, I'd like you to speak on that.
Well, considering player rankings have not been released, I would have to call that defamatory and
Shams.
Or not defamatory, but I would say that's probably false info.
All right.
Yeah.
Trust the
believe you,
source.
Kenny.
Thank
Who's
you.
your
I don't trust your source.
John,
My source? I can't disclose my source.
Can you disclose it off the record?
Yeah.
I won't put this
Here,
in.
just bleep this part out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm lying.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Great source.
Figured that's who it was.
I like them. They're a good source. Yeah, Mizzou 89 overall, number 9. I technically number 9, like Payton said. There's a bunch that are 89. They were behind the teams that were rated higher. Only Texas 91, Alabama 91, Oregon 94, Georgia 94. So also USC 83. The downfall of imagine what Caleb Williams' stuff would have been in this game.
He'd probably have been a 99. I mean, you can't be too mad about being behind any of those. I mean, realistically, I don't know. I think it's pretty clear Mizzou has a better receiving room than Alabama, but Jalen Milroe is when he's on, he's probably about as high level of a quarterback as you'll find in college football right now. Yeah, I don't think I would really disagree too hard with any of those.
Yeah.
Colorado, also an 89.
Yeah, that's the
That'll change after week 4.
yeah.
when they're a 99.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and they go first in the country with Travis Hunter.
Do you
Yeah.
believe now?
Also, like I didn't realize how good like Memphis was building up to be. Like I know they have an 85 rating in the game, but I feel like I've seen some stuff. Like I saw a college football playoff like predictor that had Memphis in it. I was like, I guess that was a pretty good opponent for Mizzou.
Seth Hennigan, man.
Yeah.
Could have seen him play a couple years ago.
Yeah, we saw him first. So yeah, there you go. There's your NCAA football update for the Missouri Tigers, which I'm excited. I'm very excited to play this game. It's going to be
so excited you haven't bought the new console.
Yeah, so excited. I have not done research to buy a new Xbox to play the game, but we'll get there.
It's pretty simple. You don't need to do research. You walk into GameStop and ask, "Can I have an Xbox?"
No. You look for deals. Look for a nice, gently used one. I got to save money here, Payton. I'm broke. I don't have any coin. All right. Anyway,
coming up.
Other news. We got Olympics to touch on too with Mizzou. This is a name who I think a lot of Missouri fans know. She's an excellent track athlete. Karissa Schweizer. She's going back to the Olympics. She got 3rd in qualifying in the 5K, which means she got a spot in the 2024 Olympics in Paris. It was her season best. She ran a 14:45:12, which is absurdly fast. If you put that, Kenny can help put this into context. Kenny's a former track athlete, retired, semi-retired. Mm-hmm. Kenny, how fast is that as a 5K time?
Well, a 5K is a little over 3 miles, so you divide that by 3, and it's pretty ridiculous how fast she is running. And this is her second fastest 5K performance ever. So she had some good competition ahead of her. When you think of Mizzou track and field at the next level, the first name is always Karissa Schweizer. And Jack, I think you told us even before, before we got on for this episode, that you saw her on the MKT once. So she comes back to Mizzou. I think she should just be like the face of Mizzou track and field, try to revive that program and get some of the best runners in the area, because she's from Iowa. She's not a Missouri girl, but it's still like incredible to see that she's going to her second Olympics and she went to Mizzou.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I did see her running. I was running with, I think, other people, and I was like, that person looks like they know what they're doing. And someone was like, that's Karissa Schweizer. And I was like, oh, wow, that makes a lot of sense. She was going very fast. So congrats to her. We'll obviously be cheering her on at the Olympics. And we haven't talked any Olympics on the show. You guys excited to watch the Olympics? Are you going to watch the Snoop Dogg coverage of it with him and I think it's him and Kevin Hart? Don't they do a thing?
I'll catch the clips, I'm sure. But I always tune into like various events at the Olympics. I don't watch all of them. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't watch every single Olympic event, but I do watch a good amount of them. I'll be doing the same.
I think it's go ahead, Kim. Sorry.
The mile time I wanted to mention is 4:45 was her average, a little over that.
Jeez.
And yeah, I think I saw this somewhere, and people might, rag on me for it. Is, the Olympics are a perfect time for people who aren't invested in other like power 4 sports, major 4 sports in America, to get really into sports for the summer. I know our friend Erin is huge into swimming and she loves that, but she doesn't really care too much about the Cardinals or the Blues unless there's something big going on. So I think that's, fair to say. I'll tune in probably for basketball. I don't really watch as much as I used to, but I think that's where I'll go. It's definitely a little bit more fun for me than the Winter Olympics.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Are you Summer or Winter Olympics more? I love the Winter Olympics because I think the sports are just like crazier, like ski jump and like snowboard. Like I couldn't dream of doing any of that. Yeah, bobsled. At least track, like I have run before.
Yeah, but you don't run like these.
No. I don't run like Karissa Schweizer.
I don't know, because like the summer has more of the big sports. Like they have golf, they have baseball, they have basketball, which is all good. But I do kind of agree that I like kind of the not big 4 sports for Winter Olympics a bit more, I'd say.
Yeah, the unique sports.
Yeah,
it's fun for me. Well, they do have hockey. That's a good one. It's fun for me just like watching the sports, that you never have tried in your life. And you're like, how do people even do that, let alone do it, that well, like gymnastics or like snowboarding, things like that. It'll be fun, especially as someone who works from home. I'll have it on all day.
There's no baseball this year, which is unfortunate. They didn't even really have they had non-40-man roster players last time, and so it's just like guys that you probably have heard about if they're in your org or if they've been around the block. But
Joe
this
Ryan
year there's
got
just
traded and then was on the
he
team.
was, and Kevin Durant asked him who he was.
Yep.
That's tough.
Why did they not have baseball this time around?
I don't know. I didn't really look into it. Just saw that the guy I follow for WBC coverage, Sean, who's been on the show before, he was the one who tweeted it, and I was like, oh, that's very unfortunate. I feel like it would have been great this year because there was no COVID regulations or anything like that to hold back what people could do. Of course, you're not going to have any major leaguers playing in it because it's in the middle of the season. I don't know.
But for you, it's cool. I mean, it's like yeah,
I know the guys.
Yeah, all the up and comers. They're on the big stage. When's the next WBC? Because that was fun. I liked watching it. I had fun watching that.
Not for a while.
2026.
Okay. Yeah. Are they every 4 years too? Is that how that works?
It was, and then COVID happened, so I threw it off course. It was supposed to be in 2021, and they did it in 2023.
Okay, so they have to wait even longer. That's unfortunate. That was fun. I liked the WBC. Anyway, on that note, Olympics tangent. We're excited to see Karissa Schweizer and see how she does. And then, quick note, shout out Justin Bear, friend of the show, sent this to us. Rosters are being named for the U.S. and Paralympic team trials are underway. This is who is qualified by state so far. Missouri, 5 athletes. Arkansas, 1 athlete.
And Oklahoma, 0. How about that?
Get your money up, not your funny up.
Who really dominates the athletic world?
Yeah, truly. The Arkansas brags about all the Olympic sports that they're good at too. Not send them to the real thing. So,
Arkansas, you don't understand, Jack. If you were asking Arkansas fans about this, they would say they have the best athletes in the world. They just don't qualify for the Olympics.
Right. Exactly. Just like they somehow don't win the game.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out, Kenny. Did you look like you read about
California, 109. It kind of looks like a hotbed zone. Like which states have the most COVID cases? Doesn't it?
No, don't go back to that.
The circles look bigger for some of these states. 109. Going back,
your home state.
Going back to baseball real quick. It was because of scheduling purposes. Since, like I mentioned, it's during the middle of the Major League Baseball season. They couldn't get a bunch of guys together to play. Of course, I mean most of them, if they kept with the thing of non-40-man players are allowed, only non-40-man players were allowed to play, you'd still lose a lot of minor leaguers. And for softball, unfortunately, there just wasn't enough support to have the sport this year.
That sucks.
Is this just so this is the Olympics in general, or just the U.S. having a team?
Olympics in general.
Okay,
so
that is a bummer. But
yeah, that is a bummer.
I don't it's so silly that baseball has that, because I guess it is a little harder to do it baseball wise, but hockey has the NHL has a built-in break for the Olympics.
Yeah, they take a break
when that happens. So it's a little harder for baseball to just do that because you're in such you're in a rhythm and you have to get pitchers stretched back out and stuff like that. It would be a lot harder, but it is something they could probably do.
Or do it during spring training. Just get it out of the way early, or like they did with the WBC. I know a lot of people are still mad about it because it kind of messes up the rhythm of getting ready for the season. And there were some injuries, but if you want to just get it out of the way, do it while everyone else is just getting ready for the season.
Spring Olympics.
Yeah, there you go. Just do it.
Check
early.
it off.
What was the thing? I saw the U.S. lost to Japan in football, American football.
I have no idea what that is. I don't.
What was that? I need to look into that because I didn't even know who plays for the Team USA. I didn't even know we had a Team USA.
For people that complain that the Copa America or the WBC are made up media tournaments, that, whatever that football thing is, that is actually what they're talking about, not the WBC or the Copa America, that, whatever that football thing is. I don't it's not a real thing.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, there you go. There's international sports talk for you. Our take on literally the wide world of sports.
Hope
last
you
thing I'll
enjoy
mention
it, because it probably won't happen often.
We're not an Olympics podcast. We know our limits. Before we go to quick hits, quick note, on Saturday, July 6th, Missouri has its SEC Takeover Day. They do this every year where one team gets the TV for like a large part of the day. So at 6:30, the times are Eastern time if you're looking on the YouTube, so scale back an hour. So at 6:30 p.m., you get gymnastics win over LSU. That was fun. They had a record setting attendance for that, and that was a big win. LSU was really good. And then not at 8 p.m., you can tune into the game and Payton's Twitter. He said he will be live tweeting it. They are showing the Cotton Bowl replay at 8 p.m. So tune into that. Follow
The
Payton.
2023 Cotton Bowl Classic won by the Missouri Tigers by a score of 14-3. I will be DVRing this and live tweeting it as if it's happening.
Yeah, so follow Payton for updates on that if you want to know how the Tigers did in a game they already played. With that, we will finish the program. Shout out Payton for doing the Lord's work with that. We'll finish the program. We got a bunch more Mizzou stuff to talk about. Some good tie-ins to sports across we already did sports across the globe, so I'll scale back. Sports across the U.S. with Mizzou ties and a famous man coming back to Columbia. Ooh, good tease. We'll go to quick hits. Okay, quick hits time. I mentioned in the intro we have some good Mizzou tie-ins this week for quick hits, and Kenny is, I think, starting us off on a banger here. If you're looking on the YouTube, you can already get the idea of who he's going to talk about. Kenny, what is your jersey of the week?
My jersey of the week goes to Ian Kinsler, a very young-looking Ian Kinsler, in the old black Mizzou singlet. Love that Block M. Not even Block M hat, just kind of like a gothic M.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Bring it back. No, but Ian Kinsler, you get my jersey of the week. You are joining the NL Futures All-Star staff at the All-Star festivities this year. The Futures game features some of the top prospects around Major League Baseball, and he's going to be on staff. Of course, it's going to be in Arlington, so a lot of Rangers focus with some of these coaches, and it's he and Prince Fielder are two of the bench coaches for the AL and NL.
Great choices.
What's funny about those two is that they also were Detroit Tigers.
They were traded for each other.
Yeah, so they kept the Tigers momentum there. I would ask Kenny, do you think of Ian Kinsler as a Ranger or a Tiger? I say Tiger. I say Tiger personally, but
I think it was
Kenny,
Ranger.
you said Ranger?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to scratch that. I'm going to say he's a Padre. That's what I really think of Ian Kinsler as. Red Sox.
I didn't even know he played for the Padres. I knew about the Tigers and the Rangers.
He was a Red Sox too. He won the
Really?
2018 World Series with them. He actually was the reason they lost a game in the World Series. But hey, he's a true son.
That was before our time at Mizzou.
He was an Angel too.
What the hell?
That was
Wild.
right before the Red Sox, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2018, same year.
Kenny, is Jackson Chorio playing in the Futures game?
No, he played last year though. He's no longer a prospect.
Oh, right. I guess that makes sense. I forget.
They also they don't send major leaguers. They send prospects who are still in the minors.
Yeah.
Troy Johnson?
No, unfortunately, I don't think. I think he's a little bit on the older side.
Snubbed. Friend of the show.
They also want good players in it, not Jackson Chorio.
Oh, I thought you were about to insult Troy Johnson. I'll take Jackson Chorio. We can fight
Troy
that
Johnson
privately, but
good.
we don't insult Troy Johnson on this podcast. Payton,
He's
what's your
gonna get
jersey
called
of
up.
the week?
My jerseys of the week are going to be our beloved 2022-2023 heroes of the Missouri basketball team. It's Kobe Brown in his Ontario Clippers jersey, standing next to, or in between rather, Demoy Hodge and Isaiah Mosley, the Rip City remix. Demoy Hodge just posted this on Instagram, so just God, man, they could have been. Why couldn't Mosley just play more? They were so good. Do you remember the?
Don't
Ole
open up
Miss
that jar
game?
again.
You remember the Ole Miss game where they all three started and it was their best game of the year? Aiden Shaw was at the 5.
Yeah.
God. I'm really happy they're all still playing professional basketball, though.
Karen's GIF as the reply, if you're looking on the YouTube, sums it up the best.
It's so beautiful, yeah.
So much aura. I will say, the Ontario Clippers jersey. What are they doing? Like a Spider-Man thing there?
I
It
don't
looks
know. It looks
ugly.
terrible.
I don't like it
It's
at all.
awful.
The Rip City Remix jersey looks good. I like that.
No, it's really good. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, Kobe, I hope they change Ontario's thing next year.
I think that's just like a one-game jersey.
Yeah.
I doubt they've worn that more than a handful of times.
That's so tacky, though. Like, they do that as a Spider-Man theme for one game. Like, come on.
It's like minor league baseball.
I was gonna say, wait till you hear
Yes.
about what minor league baseball does.
Yeah,
They have a
that's good
traveling jersey, the Oat Milkers.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess
Jack.
there's some more. What?
Why didn't you tell us Mosley was with Rip City Remix?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how people didn't know this. He joined like for a while because he was at Greensboro, which is Charlotte's G League affiliate, the Greensboro Swarm, and then I believe he was traded to Rip City.
He was with the Bucks.
yeah, the Wisconsin.
Oh
Herd.
yeah, he was, and then he went to Greensboro and then Rip City.
No, it's opposite.
No, he went Greensboro, Wisconsin.
You're right.
Rip
You're
City.
right. I don't know. I thought I did. So I apologize.
Fake fan doesn't know his minor.
You almost got his
system.
jersey. If your Bucks had won the
I did.
finals.
Yeah, if they had won the title last year, which we're no Bucks on this podcast, please.
Pacers got in the way.
That was the wrong year.
No, it was this past year.
No, it was this year.
This
Was
year.
it this year we did that bet?
Yeah.
I thought it was the year before.
No.
Either I don't want to talk about it.
Tyrese
sorry,
Halliburton.
I don't know how I didn't mention that before, but yeah, he's on the Rip City remix. I don't know if he is still. I don't know how the G League like off season works with those contracts, but it's pretty cool that he got to play with the Moy Hodge.
Mhm.
So yeah, good jersey. I miss there's so much aura. My jersey of the week, I guess. I'm giving it to Matthew Tkachuk of the Florida Panthers. This isn't very tie-in, but no, I'm not giving it to Tatum. I'm giving the jersey to Tkachuk. Tatum is tied into the story. It's not a Mizzou really tie-in, but I thought St. Louis, anyone who's from St. Louis might enjoy this if you didn't know already. Matthew Tkachuk won the Stanley Cup with the Florida Panthers. Of course, Jason Tatum won the finals with the Celtics. They went to the same high school in St. Louis. They were friends. There's a famous photo of them on the bus. Kenny's showing it them on the YouTube. And then Bleacher Report made a nice edit recreating. My favorite part of this edit that they recreated is they took the kid out in the back and replaced him with the Stanley Cup.
Yep. For those that don't know, Jason Tatum's final high school game with Chaminade was in the Missouri State semifinals, where he lost to Ryan Welty and my high school alma mater, Park Hill South Panthers.
Congrats on that, Payton. Well done.
Yep, I wasn't even in high
Not on
school
the
yet.
team.
I was in 8th grade.
Wasn't even there. It was you got to take credit for that. I just thought this was fun. Like Payton said, Chaminade College Preparatory is a city of champions in 2024.
Yeah.
Is this going to turn into Matthew Stafford and Clayton Kershaw?
I think it already has, hasn't it?
I don't. They didn't mention that Tkachuk knew Jason Tatum on like every broadcast of the Stanley Cup. It was just a fun little factoid after the fact, I think.
I think Payton's right. I don't think it'll quite get to that level. I think people have realized we don't need that in Cody Schrader D2. That was ridiculously mentioned. But congrats to Matthew Tkachuk. I did want the Oilers to win. I wanted them to come back from 3-0 and pull that off.
Of course
that
you did.
Fun.
I didn't.
What do you mean?
You're a big fan of their fans.
I don't have any comment further at this time.
You mean
Congrats to
cans?
Matthew. Huh?
Do you mean their cans?
Oh my god.
I like No Cap, and he's the main bird.
Shawnee Spain Bird of the Week.
My Shawnee East main bird of the week goes to Eli Drinkwitz. And I don't know where this video came from. I could not find the original source of it. But he's bouncing in a Mercedes. You have to be watching on the YouTube. You've probably seen this on Twitter. But God, being a fan of the school and going to the school, this team cannot lose more than 2 games next season. There are too many videos out there like this one where it could be spun in a negative way. But he's just a funny guy. He's just bouncing and listening to music in his Mercedes.
This in the guitar.
Drinkwitz is the classic. If he's your coach, you adore him. If he is not your coach, you could not hate a coach more. And you're 100% right, Kenny, because when Mizzou is winning, this shtick is gold. When they're losing, you get absolutely lit up for it. But I think it's hilarious, especially because he's such a good recruiter because of things like this. He's a nerdy, dorky dude that like just kind of has some swag about him. So he's a fun dude to watch. I mean, the car is also, if you like listen to this video of it bouncing up and down, like you hear it squeaking over and over, which just kind of adds to the comedy factor for me. But no, you're 100% right, Kenny. Like if this team does not reach the playoff, they're going to probably get lit, just torn apart on Twitter.
I think Kenny, like you've done this comp more than I have, so correct me where I may trip up, but I feel like he just has all the good qualities of Lane Kiffin without like being as much Lane Kiffin-y.
He doesn't have the face. He needs like the look of Lane Kiffin. He's just, I mean, I think he's leaned into it. You know, he's a, nerdy kind of looking guy with the glasses and the haircut, and that's just who he is. But yeah, he's like Lane Kiffin light is what I've seen on Twitter. They go back and forth. They have fun, but I love Lane Kiffin. He's my favorite college football coach of all time, just for personality purposes.
Yeah. I love my coach. I just love my coach. And if my coach starts losing football games, it's going to get really bad, but he's not doing that right now. So let's just enjoy it.
He's
got a new car. He had a G-Wagon for a long time.
Is that actually his car, or is it? I thought it might have been. I thought he was maybe just driving it around.
Yeah, because I noticed it's two-toned.
Oh yeah, no, I noticed that.
Yeah,
I thought it was the sun.
Nah,
this reminds me of it. I don't think neither of you guys have seen Breaking Bad, have you?
No, I have.
Okay, but Payton, it reminds me of like Jesse Pinkman, the crazy car he drove at the beginning of the show that bounced, and it would like just
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
if I thought it was a Bentley at first because those rims are not Mercedes rims. You changed those out. Nice looking car though.
I do want to know who recorded this because they're going crazy in the video.
Yeah,
whoever recorded it.
It sounded like it might have been a recruit. I don't know. Like I don't know why else he'd be taking that video if a recruit wasn't around, just to do it, just to get it out there on Twitter. I guess that is Drinkwitz. Yeah, I love my coach.
Auburn Tigers. That's my bird connection.
Was there? I guess.
He'll be there again one day. Just kidding. My main bird of the week is unfortunately going to have to be the St. Louis Cardinals because they had good old head coach Dennis Gates throw out the first pitch of the ball game. I believe it was game 2 of their doubleheader against the Atlanta Braves last night. So yeah, there's it's got an AEW title belt. Sorry, that's the wrong brand, Dennis. But very cool to see him out there. Gonna be honest, he looks good in the Cardinals jersey. I have to admit the aesthetic is there for him.
I think naked. Dennis could rock.
What? Yeah, naked Truman.
Oh yeah, naked Truman. I think Dennis could rock any outfit. I think he does well with the suits. Suit game on point. He's got the Cardinals jersey. Can we go back to the AEW photo?
I will always appreciate Dennis Gates wearing a suit. I think cool.
I would like to make a proposal. For every game Mizzou wins, we change our profile picture to this for like a couple of days after.
Mizzou basketball.
Mizzou basketball, yeah.
Even if they beat like Eastern Washington,
we can maybe do conference play.
I have kind of like, I think everyone should do this. The second Mizzou wins a conference game this year, because that's my bold prediction. Mizzou will win a conference game this year. They should celebrate like they just won. Like everyone should celebrate like they just won the national title. I think it'd be funny. Yeah, just be totally obnoxious about it.
That would be fun. And Mizzou fans will do that. Like I'll do that. I'll be very excited. They win a conference game.
We don't know the exact dates of their conference games, right?
No.
Okay.
Kyle Gibson caught the first pitch.
MIZ.
Oh, there you go.
Bird connection. The Cardinals, obviously, idiots.
Why didn't they put Truman in a Cardinals thing?
He should have just worn the Mizzou baseball jersey. So I'm a little
Yeah.
confused. Clothe
Poor
him.
effort there. Put some clothes on that man.
It really feels like Mizzou
good
would like you to forget that they have a baseball team half the time, the way they treat the program. But
yeah, good main bird, Payton. My main bird of the week, bird connection. It's the USA Eagle. Squaw! My main bird of the week goes to Christian Pulisic of the U.S. men's national soccer team. He scored an absolute screamer for the U.S. in the Copa America. I am connecting it to Mizzou because they played this game on the same turf that Mizzou won the 2023 Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic by a score of what, Payton?
the Missouri Tigers in the 2023 Cotton Bowl Classic defeated the Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked number 7th at the time, by a score of 14-3. Missouri scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Could have been 3, by the way. They were in the red zone when they started taking a knee. So yeah.
Yeah. So Pulisic, he's just should be honored. He graced the same field as that team. But he did score a very impressive goal. The USA went on to beat Bolivia 2-0 in their first game. They have not played their second game yet at the time of recording.
Do you think Pulisic went home and said, oh my gosh, I scored a goal on the same turf that Kai Montgomery won the Cotton Bowl on?
I hope he did. I hope he in fact did.
He kind of looks like Matt Zollers. They're both from Pennsylvania.
They are both from Pennsylvania.
I think Matt Zollers has a little bit curlier hair.
Yeah. He curled that shot. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. The U.S., they're going to frustrate me, but this was a nice start, and it's nice that it was in Dallas where the Tigers won. So I figured I had to make that connection. But keep watching them. I mean, if they do well in this tournament, that would be a big thing for them going into the World Cup, where they will also host. So one to keep an eye on. Best thing we learned this week, Payton.
Best thing I learned this week, John Anderson, one of the top 5 Sports Center anchors from my childhood, at least. He's coming back to Mizzou, guys. He's joining the Missouri School of Journalism faculty. He begins on January 1st, 2025. His last Sports Center broadcast is actually the week we're recording this, I believe. So yeah, his time at ESPN is coming to an end. He's a Mizzou alum, of course. He was been at ESPN since 1999. He worked at KOMU TV. He was just like us, guys. He was a lowly journalism student, and now he's like world famous. But he's coming back to Columbia. He also had a quote. I don't remember the exact quote. Oh yeah, here it is. His quote was, "Why wouldn't you want to go play for the Yankees?" said Anderson, who will also hold the position of professional practice professor. That's what Mizzou is. If you're going to go play, why not go play for the team with all the world titles? I could not have thought of a better post-ESPN landing spot. That's a pretty strong quote, pretty fire quote for the premier journalism institution in the world, quite frankly.
The best.
Yep. The first and finest.
It's like LeBron coming back to Cleveland. Just the king has returned. He's taken his throne. He's going to bring us back to our titles. Maybe we lost our way the last couple of years. He's come back. He won all those awards with the Heat in Bristol, Connecticut. Now he's back in Cleveland, Ohio, also known as Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. John Anderson, I've known him for a while too, because he grew up. He's from Wisconsin originally too, and that's like his big thing on ESPN now. He hosts a radio show that's like all about Wisconsin sports. So I listen to that from time to time, and to have kind of that connection to it, and then obviously being Mizzou as well. He's still very open fan of the Tigers and stuff. I'm sad we're not in school anymore. Maybe we have to go back to grad school. Just take his class.
If in case you're wondering his specific role, he's joining the School of Journalism's faculty as the Leonard H. Goldenson Endowed Chair in Radio and Television Journalism. And his last Sports Center episode is actually the day this episode comes out, Friday.
There you go. Go watch it. So he's going to do so many KCOU guest appearances. They're going to be so blessed.
Oh yeah, if we were still on the KCOU airwaves, 100% we would have had to have tried to get him on.
Shout out KCOU, the first and finest radio station. Don't Google if the fact that it's first is true or not. Yeah, shout out John Anderson. Welcome back. That'll be very exciting. Hopefully he does like Big Mo, maybe at a football game. All the traditions.
Yes, before, hasn't he?
Yep.
I'm sure. Yeah.
While we were there, yes.
Yeah, that's why I thought I remembered.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll do that many more times. Nice best thing you learned, Payton. Kenny?
My best thing I learned this week, every true Tiger has a new NIL deal for the Mizzou football players, and it's snacking with the crew. You got chocolate cream, bite-sized sandwich cookies, and bite-sized cookies that are oatmeal raisin made with California raisins, which I think is kind of bad. I think it should have been Missouri raisins. I don't even know if we produce raisins in our state. We do produce soybeans, though. I heard that a million times in college. But if you get the two boxes and put them together, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the Cotton Bowl trophy is created with the two boxes. It looks like it's $2.49. So wherever you can find it, go and get
Good
some.
deal.
No free ads. Yeah. But we like these guys.
In case anyone forgot, Missouri won the Cotton Bowl, the 2023 Cotton Bowl Classic, by a score of 14-3 over the Ohio State Buckeyes this past December.
How many touchdowns in the fourth quarter?
The Tigers outscored Ohio State 14-0 in the fourth quarter. It could have been 21-0. Missouri was in the red zone when they started taking knees. So Missouri kind of really romped them that game.
Right.
Shout out Mookie Cooper for getting on this box. That's super cool for him. He leapt over Theo Weiss's spot, you would think, because it's Brady Cook, Luther Burden, Mookie Cooper, and I'm happy for Mookie Cooper. I like Mookie Cooper a lot, so good for him.
I'm sure it's probably the St. Louis. It's the
yeah, that's definitely
St.
true.
Louis guys.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it,
because Burden and Brady Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Brett Norfleet didn't get on the St. Louis box. What's up with that?
Yes, he did. He's the one on the right.
That's not the St. Louis box.
Armand Membu is from Kansas City.
Well, but he's on St. Louis.
And actually, Caden Green is also from Kansas City as well.
Connor Tolson's from...
I don't know who that is, and I don't know why if that's who that is on the box.
I think he's from Jeff City, right?
I don't know. I don't know. They have a mystery fourth man.
That's a good question. We should look that up right now. Where's Connor Tolson?
No, we don't need to look at it. We can move on. It's kind of getting late in the episode, guys. I really think we can move on from this.
I insist we know where he's from.
I don't think we need to really do.
Might be from the boot heel. Oh yeah, he's from Jackson, Missouri. Payton.
But
wait, let's read his accolades. Scroll down for a little bit.
Does that say he has eligibility for 2025?
Sure does. Starting center, started all 13 games on the team's season's primary center.
Jackson Moe.
Shout out!
If you ever want to remember why Mizzou was 11-2 instead of 12-1 last year, go watch Mizzou LSU highlights and skip to when there's about 2 minutes left in that game. It'll be pretty eye-opening, I'll tell you what.
If you look at notable people from Jackson, Missouri, the first person is Connor Tolson.
Are you serious?
First and finest.
Lying. But it's south of St. Louis, on the way to the boot heel.
Shout out all the Jackson Missourians out there, hopefully listening to the show. Tell your friends. Good best thing you learned, Kenny. My best thing I learned, we're going back to, I guess, Mizzou football a little bit. Also Mizzou softball. Shout out Gabe Diarman, friend of the show, Power Mizzou. He talked to Larissa Anderson from she's not from anywhere. She's a coach of the softball team. Coach Larissa Anderson, and said that Coach Anderson talked to Eli Drinkwitz about setting up a softball game against the Missouri football team. She said she'd provide padding and cards for the football players while they're hitting. I need to see this. This has to happen. I think this game needs to happen. Have Mizzou softball go up against Mizzou football. I want to see the football players try to do the softball underhand pitch, and just see how they kick on. I thought this.
Do you think they'll have a football return match afterwards, or
flag? They could do flag.
They could do flag.
You could do flag on Stankowski. Actually, that'd be kind of fun, like a Midnight Madness kind of thing. You come watch them.
Mm-hmm.
That'd
You
be kinda
can, and
fun.
then right after you can watch the South Second alumni battle it
Football
out.
game. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you come.
But no, this is cool. I kind of want to see it happen. Live stream it or something. They should do
Mhm.
something with it.
At least make a video.
Yeah.
Hype video. The one thing I'm just worried about is that they have to cut it off early because someone tears their ACL,
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
slipping on a
injuries.
base.
Injuries could be scary. Injuries could
They'd
be
probably
scary.
just jog around. Like both coaches would probably be like, "Hey, we're not going full speed here. We're not fast pitching." Like it's
They should
probably
just do a home run derby.
Or the 9 outs challenge.
kinda
They
fun.
try to get 9 outs against the softball team.
Who do you think would pitch? And I'm gonna gate all the QBs because they
Ooh.
use their
Brett
arm.
Norfleet.
Didn't Norfleet play baseball?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would pitch.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
gotta roll Sam Horn out there.
Yeah, Sam Horn, I don't think is available.
Roll him out there. He can still walk.
I actually
You think Tommy
tease,
John
like,
surgery means you can't walk?
Isn't that on your foot?
Okay.
I'm just
Pretty
kidding.
much.
I know, pretty much.
Both
The
feet.
foot of- the foot of your arm.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
This one comes from our favorite TV series, The Today Show. Guys, what do you call a man wearing a rug on his head?
Something with carpet. It's gotta be something with carpet.
Yeah, I think carpet sounds good. I don't know.
A
Close.
carpet.
Matt.
Oh,
That's good.
that's a good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a good one, Payton.
you've had better.
Thank you.
Kenny, you broke your streak of getting it. That was like a couple.
Yeah, finally. It's finally
Tough.
over.
All right. I hope everyone enjoyed the show this week. We are having now people kicking each other out of the stream, which is probably a signal that we should end it. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. We'll be back for another week. Hopefully talking another maybe commit. And actually, yeah, hopefully we are talking about another commit because hopefully that's Corey Sims. So we'll have that for you, whether he chooses the Tigers or not on Monday. Until that time, go, I guess, tweet at him to commit to Mizzou. And then, hopefully
Yeah,
goes
it
off for
helps
you.
a lot.
Yeah, it definitely helps a lot. Until that time, hope everyone has a fun and safe weekend. We will see you on Monday.